Hi guys, it's Molly and today I will be reviewing Zodiac by Romina Russell. This book was recommended to me by Amelia from Amelia Xavier, and I'm so glad that I read it because I loved it and I'm reading it 4.5 out of 5 stars. There are mixed reviews for this book. There are people who, like me, really loved it, and there are people also who don't like it. So it's one of those books where you have to find out for yourself whether it's your kind of read or not. It is a young adult high fantasy science fiction, so many subgenres. I guess you can tell from the title that it has a lot to do with zodiacs. So basically each zodiac, the ones that we know right now, where there are 12 of them, each one actually has their own planet. It's like your country, so the whole planet is sort of like your country, and each house have their own guardian. They also have certain personality traits that are exclusive to their own house, and they have their own social systems and way of living, all based on their own personality. And so, for example, if you're from Cancer, Cancer is all about nurturing and, caring about those who you love. And if you're from Gemini, Gemini is all about imagination and creativity and things like that. So the story is basically about a girl named Ro who is from House Cancer. I'm from Cancer too. One day her planet gets attacked and the guardian dies, and somehow she had to become the new guardian, and then there's a new threat coming on and she has to warn other houses. But being a very young and untrained, unexperienced guardian, no one would actually really believe what she is trying to warn them about because it's a very mythical kind of threat. And so in order to save her own house, she also has to save the other zodiacs as well. And I'm not gonna spoil you any more than that because you should really just read it on your own and explore this wonderful new world. One of the most amazing things about this book is undeniably the world building, and to find out and discover about each planet and how they are, and the technology that's being used in this kind of era is just so magnificent. And the world building is actually quite heavy. It does take about like half of the book to really get used to the basics. It also takes a lot of focus for you to really capture the world. I mean, if you're really tired and you're reading it in the middle of the night, you're not really into it, you're gonna miss out on a lot of the detail because it's really heavy like that. And also, it's not just because there are a lot of new things being introduced, it's also because the way that it's being written, it's not as if the characters just tell you what these foreign things in the book are just to make you understand, because the character herself is from this world. So it's not like books like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson where there's an outsider and we learn with that outsider about this whole new world. In this book, we sort of have to assume a lot of things in order to really understand what they are. So I think that that's a little hard to get into, but at the same time I think it makes a lot of sense because the character herself isn't new to those things. So it's not like she can just tell us, oh, this thing is like a smartphone that you guys use or anything like that. So you sort of have to assume the descriptions to be like the things that you think they are. The plotline is decent to the point where I kept getting excited to know more of what's going to happen. It does have a bit of cliche young adult elements to it, like there is a love triangle. The storyline, I guess you can sort of find similarities with other YA stuff. It is a little predictable here and there. I think with this whole new concept and this whole new world, it really makes it a little bit more unique from other YA that I've read. And I actually really liked the love story, and even though it was kind of a love triangle, I kept sort of being confused about which guy I shipped the main character more with. And both guys are just swoon worthy. At first I couldn't choose. So I really like that it doesn't fully focus on the romance. And the romance is kind of cheesy, I have to admit, but I really like it. It's like my kind of cheesy. I'm like, oh, I was kind of gushing at some of the parts. It's just, it's cute. But there are some problems that I did have with the book. For example, the way it was being written. For example, if something happens, the author doesn't really explain fully how it happened or describe the whole picture, so that it actually feels kind of rushed. Like, when I'm reading Harry Potter, and things like that, you'd sort of see the details of the setting and the story, so it doesn't feel rushed, because it sort of felt like they were there, okay, and then they were gone, and we didn't really get to really develop our sense of the place that they were currently at. And when some people died and things like that, especially because there were so many characters introduced in this book, that it was a little hard to keep up with all of them, and it was hard to sort of be attached to them, so that some of the deaths don't really have a big impact. But other than that, I understand that it is the first book, so a lot of things had to be introduced, and hopefully when we start reading the second book and the other books, we'll already be familiar with most of the characters and most of the places, and hopefully it'll be a lot easier to digest and accept. I really love the descriptions of some of the places mentioned in this book. It feels really exciting. I just feel like I want to see it for myself. Like, a part of me sort of wants this to be a movie. I feel like a movie could really show us the whole beauty of the whole constellation concept and idea, and all these planets and all the technology and holograms, and a movie would really be good for this. I feel like maybe the movie could make it seem better because we can actually see everything, so I reckon that a movie would be really great. Seeing as I'm a Cancer myself, I did get to relate to some of the Cancer traits mentioned in the book a lot, and for the main character, although she is kind of annoying sometimes,
maybe that means I'm annoying.
I actually grew to like her quite a lot towards the end of the book. There was this one scene where I cried really bad. I don't know why. I think it's because I was really connected to her at that point, that I felt her pain, and the tears just came, and the tears was just real. I'm gonna read Wandering Star next month with Amelia. Hopefully we're gonna have a read along, and hopefully we'll have like a book talk together or something. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!